Hi guys, Shane here, Flight Simmer. Welcome to another test drive episode. This is where we take an Addon, a scenery, and aircraft. I'll take it for a spin around the block and give you my first impression. So today we are taking a look at a utility. So this utility is for Flight Sim World FSW. It's from the team of FS Flight Control, and I stumbled across it today. So the footage that you saw at the start of this video were some cutscenes from the Just Flight Arrow video I did for Flight Sim World, not last week, the week before. And during making that video and learning how to do all different cutscenes in FSW without using ChasePlane, I thought there must be a better way for camera reviews. So when I stumbled on the guys, I think it's called Slew View or Slew and View from FS Flight Control, I thought I would actually take a look at it and then share my experience with you guys. And so it will be interesting to see if this is going to help me be able to do different cool views and scenes for cutscenes of FSW's video to come, or what I've got now is better. So we'll find out. So let's take a look. So I picked up Viewer and Slew today for, I think it was $9.99 US through Steam. So the install was pretty straightforward through Steam. So that's about $12 or $13 Australian. I'll just move the UI up to the top corner there, and it's quite basic, the UI. You can actually, just by looking at it without reading the manual, you can pretty much work out what you need to do. So around this aircraft we'll have different head movements of the panning inside the actual cockpit. So I'm going up now. Obviously each a little click that I do will do one movement at a time. So down to the bottom and to the left and to the right, and sort of tilting up, tilting down. So you can sort of set different controls. The up and down arrow, this is meant to move you forward, in and out, but obviously I've got preset buttons that either it's not working or there's a fault or a bug with the software. But it's basically, the UI is pretty much doing the same things that you would have buttons doing on your control keyboard. It's actually just doing it in the UI, so it's a very straightforward. So now I'm actually tilting my head there. So it's got all the old movements that you would do in FSX, and then you can hit the reset button, and this is the zoom in, and this is the zoom out. So very similar to things that you can do in ChasePlane. Obviously that's hitting the double one, which is it will zoom in more than the previous one. I like ChasePlane, but at such a basic level. So that will give you different corrections around the cockpit. The only thing it doesn't do is it doesn't save presets. So you can't actually, when you come up with the view that you want, you can't preset and save it in there, which is that's a must for me. Now here, this button will cycle through the different views that are in a Flight Sim X, so all the default ones from the FSX day, so in cockpit, outside cockpit, tower view, and whatnot. So obviously you can change to default. I think this is like chase cam, and we'll give you the different angles. So you can choose to set one up, go on higher angle, and zoom out a little bit. This is probably sort of what I would call in ChasePlane, you know, bottom right for an outside angle. I would set up 4 types of these. But again, you can't actually set these in and save them, which is something that you need. So every time you wanted to go and look at the plane on this angle, you would pretty much have to go and get it set up like that. So this is probably more from a tower view. Zooming out from a side view of the aircraft, so it could probably help a little bit in video production at this stage. Sometimes when you set up all your different keyboard configurations for slewing and things like that, as you can see, it's got a bit lost in those buttons there. It gets confusing what buttons what to actually get the proper cinematic. So obviously having a UI, you can see which buttons do what, so that may help. So we're going to move over to the other side of the utility, which is the Slew side. So you might want to know, why would I want to use Slew in a flight sim? Well, there's really only two reasons. One is to move the aircraft around to a different part of the airport, and the other one is you can actually move your camera out of the way of an aircraft, and you can actually use slew mode to make a different cinematic camera views. So as you can see, it does get quite confusing. So we're just going up at the moment, moving the aircraft down. So as you can see, it takes a few clicks to get up to a decent speed, and if you click in the opposite direction, it will pretty much stop it straight away. So we're going to move to the left. We're gonna move it to the right. So I filmed a FSElite video on Big Bear earlier this week using Slew. Not using this product though, but using Slew. And I'll tell you what, it does get quite confusing, and it was many of colourful languages coming out of my mouth in frustrations trying to actually shoot it. So you get used to living the life of luxury using things like ChasePlane. But I'm going to actually try and move this aircraft over to the taxi area to show what you can physically do with a slewing option. I'll move it down a little bit off. Move it off, and we'll just move it over. There we go. We'll move the aircraft down. So again, pretty much View and Slew is pretty much just using preset buttons and putting them into a new eye face for flight sim. So yeah. So we'll just take the Piper up again, and I'll show you the pitch and the roll. Just stop it there. So obviously the airport center, you can see the background is FSW's Big Bear, and it is very beautiful. So that's pitching up and pitching down, and we'll roll left and we'll roll right. Rolling the aircraft. And there's an AI coming into the picture. Geez, he would have a good scene from his cockpit. Something in mid-air, Piper just rolling around on its side. We'll roll it back. And we'll pop it back down the ground. If you turn slew mode off when your aircraft is in the air, the aircraft will want to fly. So from here, it would pretty much drop, and I would actually break it. Now I've jumped back into the cockpit. I want to show you something to compare with. So I've got my keys and my joystick preset up to slew around in the aircraft. So I'm just panning using my joystick up and down. Just showing you don't need to have this product to do it if you don't want to, but you have to go through all the rigmarole to set it up and remember how to actually, what keys to do. So now I'm actually using my page up, my page down, my left and right, which I've actually bind the keys to the aircraft. I think I use A and S in here as well, and a bunch of other different ones that I use to make videos. But that did take a while to unbind keys and rebind keys just for view controls. But it's a little bit smoother, but I've had a few hours of practice doing it. This is also using mouse mode too. So mouse mode's cool to do different first person views, but only issue is you have the crosshair that is there. So similar to what things you can do in ChasePlane. But basically the product of View and Slew will actually do the same thing, but pop it into the UI, and yet it's a button click option. So this is just some footage from a video last week as well. So this is just showing the outside as you can pan around and do different things with the aircraft without needing to use a UI. So this is using, I believe this is using mouse mode and then just zooming in and zooming out and get ready for scenes. But this is as I sort of do a walk around on a aircraft. But you can do similar things just with the default camera system built into Flight Sim World. So very similar to FSX. But don't get me wrong, the guys at FS Flight Control, they haven't claimed that this is actual camera system whatsoever. You know, they haven't made any claims it's like that. They're basically, you know, this is a slew and view utility. I was just hoping that this would be something that I'd find that would give me a hand with my videos in Flight Sim World, because I'm used to ChasePlane and there isn't a sort of camera system that fills the gap there. So my final thoughts is, would I use this for making cinematic videos? I would say probably not. Would I actually use this for everyday Flight Sim World stuff? I would say probably not as well, only because I've spent the time setting up all my keys and binding them to what I want them to be. So, but it's probably okay if you had like a dual screen setup. So you can actually have the UI sitting in one and just do a mouse button click. That might work, but for $9.99 it's not too bad. But again, if they actually had presets where you could actually save your view in there and go back to it, that would be a go-to. I would actually use this product until something else comes along. So yeah. So if you'd like a tutorial on how I set up my keys for my camera views and things like that for Flight Sim World, please leave a comment below. If I get enough comments, I will look at doing a video for that. If you want to stay up to what I'm doing during the week, you can go and check out my Facebook page. I generally let you guys know what I'm working on for the week. And if you liked the video, please hit the thumbs up. And if this is the first time you've seen a video from the Oz Flight Simmer channel, I have weekly content coming out. Everything Flight Sim related for the average flight simmer. So hit the subscribe button if you want to see more content. So thanks very much. I will see you on the next video. Have a good day. Bye bye.